Good morning. Welcome back to Passionate World Talk Radio Network, a wholly owned subsidiary of Global Media Network, LLC. Educate, enlighten, entertain. And on today's Monday tips, these are the 14 best tips for solo female travelers from an expert. And she goes on to say that with 40 plus countries under her belt, mostly solo, you've come to the right place for solo female travel tips and to learn how to travel alone as a woman. And as more and more older women are choosing not to get remarried or pick up a companion of the opposite sex, this is information everyone who is a female can use, because no one is safe unless they learn how to protect themselves first. And she's been to Europe, America, the East, all on her own. And she's picked up some tricks and tips she wants to pass along to you. So the next time you decide to go with a girlfriend, you'll know how to travel in style without getting scammed or rooked, and to take care of yourself. Number one, you can never take too many photographs or videos, because you are capturing your new experiences, people who you meet, and a detailed diary, hopefully, of how you feel while you're traveling with a female companion or alone. And she recommends Clipify, Clipify. It's a free, easy to use automatic video editing software for all your skill levels. And it uses both photos and videos. And it helps you trim your clips, adjust the speed, and boost image quality. And you can keep your videos or pictures private or share them on social media. 2, do your research ahead of time. Just like any other time when you're traveling with your partner or friends or family, solo travel still calls for research and planning. If you're an Australian, you start with SMART, S-M-A-R-T, Traveler, Traveller. It's your go-to for local scams, cultural do's and don'ts, government advice, and visa information. You'll also find embassy details and the local emergency number. It's all about being prepared instead of being put in the panic, flight, and run mode. Choose your accommodation wisely. The first time I went out as a solo, I spoke to several managers of the different hotels I was considering. I picked the one that told me we get a lot of women who come in and stay with us, and this is what we do for them, and this is what we suggest they do for themselves. Stayed there the whole week, no problem. And that's what you need to do. Now, she says she's mostly stayed in hostels, and she even wrote a blog post packed with top host-telling tips for solo females. When I was 16, I hosteled through the country of Canada on a 3-speed bicycle, starting from Montreal and riding all the way to Vancouver. It took me 8 weeks on a 3-speed bike. But I had made arrangements first to stop off at the local hostels along the way. And that made a terrific difference. Now, this was back in the mid-1960s. It's now 2126. So look it up, ladies, where you can find the hostel organization. There's one out there in the United States, and I'm pretty sure all over Europe and Asia. So look them up on Google or ask your AI to help you find them and talk with them directly. But as she goes on to say in the article, if Earbuds and hotels are more your preference. Just make sure the accommodations in a safe and convenient area and read the reviews and choose what suits you best. I find that reading reviews tell you honestly how people feel about the places they stay at, especially if they're from the female persuasion, because they'll tell you honestly everything that's wrong with the place. Go ask a few husbands and boyfriends, they'll tell you. You also may want to, if you're coming in late, you want to may go through booking.com so that you can share airport transportation like Uber ahead of time. And if you arrive during the daylight, it's ideally close to check-in time is always the best bet, because you need to find out when checkout time is. Not everybody is emptied out of the hotel at 9 o'clock in the morning. Some checkouts are 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can't really check in until 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So pay attention and stay up to date. Pro tip: if you're booking shared accommodation on an Airbud, personal safety tip is to stick with female hosts. It's an extra layer of comfort and peace of mind when traveling alone as a woman. Number 4, stay connected. Staying connected while traveling solo is easier and cheaper than ever. No more wandering around looking for an internet cafe. Pick up a local SIM or ESIM so you can call for help, book transport, and use Google Maps on the go. She's all free and eager to use free Wi-Fi, but it won't save you when you need to share your grab. So make sure you get all your driver's details, especially in Bali. Trust me, get the SIM, download WhatsApp, and you're all set. 5. Oh, let me add another pro tip. Another key safety tip is making sure your phone stays charged and ready. That means when you go overseas, your charger can make the connection with the European and Asian electrical sockets. They're different from the US of A. Make sure you get the right kind. Go through the AARP, go through the AAA, go through Google, go through AI, find out what you need, pick it up through Amazon. They'll make your life a lot easier. A power bank or a portable charger. This is my personal slimline power bank with carry bag. Is worth its weight in gold when traveling alone. I do it because when I was married, my husband didn't think of all the little details. And that was one detail I always used to forget. So I always made sure we were, and what I call my contingency plans. 5, trust your gut. Trusting your gut is crucial when traveling by yourself. Pay attention to that little inner voice, you know, the one that says no. And stay aware of your surroundings, whether you're in a packed tourist spot where pickpockets lurk or deciding whether to walk home after dark. If something doesn't feel right, don't second guess. Your instincts are one of your best safety tools. 6, avoid risky situations. This ties back to trusting your little inner voice, what I call my Father Thomas. Don't share where you're staying or personal information or your phone number with strangers. And avoid accepting random drinks. You don't know what they're putting in that liquid before it comes over to you. And steer clear of walking alone in poorly lit or deserted spots. My son and I did that in New York City. We went through a really tough area. It's a good thing my 12-year-old was already 6 feet tall and sporting a mustache. Otherwise, I'm sure we would have gotten into a lot more trouble. For example, when she's in Melbourne or Townsville, she doesn't do it alone. She doesn't do London alone either. Something for you to think about. 7, pack light. Traveling solo means you're the one carrying all your belongings. Not a big deal on a weekend trip, but for a 3-month trip, it can be a little bit onerous to be carrying all that extra weight, plus the fact you have to pay for it now when you fly. So make sure that you learn what you must absolutely take with you on a flight and then pack it. For her 3-month stint in Europe, she traveled with a backpack. She traveled with a backpack, a handbag, and suitcase. It meant one hand was always free, and the smaller suitcase was the one that she put all her personal items in. So make sure that you pay attention when you do that. Now, this just gives you the first seven tips. Go over to our blog, passionatworldtalkradio.com/blog. Listen to the podcast, read the summary, but best of all, click on the link that's provided and read all the other tips that this expert gives to you so you'll know how to take the proper care and feeding of yourself while traveling alone. Thank you very much for joining us. I thought you should be aware that we are always here for you with the right information and material you need to become successful in business, personal, raising your family, dealing with the do's and don'ts of life. Help us stay online. We've been online now for 20 years, and we're hoping to do it even longer. So please go over to passionatworldtalkradio.com/donation. And for a cup of coffee, no matter where you go, whether it's Starbucks, whether it's at your local restaurant, please, $5 would be enough to keep the lights on for another day. Thank you very much. And one other thing, we have now just started a new program. It's called PWTRN's Daily Bread. And you get information on what's happening on the network, in the station, about the host, things you always wanted to ask, but didn't have the guts to lift your hand and say, I have this question. I want to know. We're going to supply you with all this stuff. And in case you want to reread it or rehear it, it's coming out in newspaper form. So keep your ears pinned wide, folks, because it's coming out to a circuit near you. Have a great week.